Hi Cancer, this is your reading for February 2019. Thanks for joining. This is actually my third time now recording this reading. So let's hope third time's a charm. So while I'm shuffling, please settle into a comfortable posture. Set aside anything that you're doing so you're not multitasking, and be present with me completely for the reading. Focus on your breath for a little while to just come into a calm center and release any tension or anxiety that you might be feeling. While I'm shuffling, take a moment here to check in with your higher self and your guides. Ask them to reach out to my higher self and my guides so that we can create a feedback loop of information to get really clear and relevant and precise messages that are especially tailored for you. All right, let's do this. Okay. Interesting. There's a few cards in here from the previous reading that have shown up again. The one that I recorded that didn't work. I'd actually forgotten to plug in the microphone, so did the whole reading and there was no sound. Okay. Let's have a look at what's here. Some really intense cards. The last reading was a similar energy to this, but in a much gentler version, I would say. So, what it's saying here is that for some of you, you may be at this time questioning your commitment to your relationship. You have the Two of Cups in reverse here with the Ten of Cups also in reverse. In the previous reading, this card had come out in the same position but in the upright. So, the center of the reading you have Devil, and it's crossed by the Strength card. The foundation you have the Queen of Cups in reverse, and at the crowning card you have the Page of Pentacles in reverse. My first impression, I have to say, when I'm looking at these cards here, is that for some of you, this may be the issue that we may be addressing here, whether it's in your romantic relationship or whether it's you personally. I feel that there's something here around addiction. I feel that some of you may be dealing with addiction, and you may be looking for a solution or looking for a way to unhook, let's say, unhook. The Devil here definitely can be an indicator of unhealthy attachments, unhealthy patterns, behaviors, habits. It can be an indicator of addictions. And having it crossed here with the Strength card, it does kind of feel to me like there is this, like it feels like your challenge or your lesson or what you're dealing with now is willpower and using restraint. You know, like some of you may be kind of feeling a bit frustrated in that you may want to kind of overcome an addiction or a bad habit, but you may be struggling with the willpower and the discipline to actually do that. Let's see what else is here. You have, like, there's quite a few Cups cards here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Cup cards. Seeing a lot of Cup cards in a reading, especially in the way that they're laid out here, can also be kind of, you know, indicating that there is addiction there. Can be alcoholism. But it can also show here, I feel that for some of you there is like some kind of emotional dissatisfaction. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of the 6 Cup cards that are here are all in reverse. So I feel that there may not necessarily be an easy time. I feel like some of you may be dealing with some difficult emotional energy that you're processing. I feel like a lot of you there's this energy here of like a desire to release, a desire to let go. You have here the Seven of Swords in the upright position with this Four of Cups in reverse here. This could also, and these cards in this quadrant are kind of an extension of this central part of the reading. So I feel like these two cards together are very telling, you know. I feel like what this Seven of Swords here is saying is that this may be a time where you're actually realizing that it's time to be really honest with yourself and to acknowledge that there is something that you need to let go of, that there's something that you're cheating yourself. That's what I feel here. Whether or not this is about a relationship, like if this is about your personal will, you know, your addiction or your personal habits, behaviors or whatever, there's something here around honesty and being real and being owning up to and kind of, and even walking away from, you know. And this, with this Four of Cups in reverse here, it's like a desire to let go, a desire to, you know, break free of and move away from, you know. I think for some of you that there is this energy here about, you know, wanting to really like face up to all the things in your life that have been, you know, disappointments or like I feel this 7 here. You have 2 7s in the reading, both upright. This 7 here is kind of in this position of this card here in this position is describing the energy that you're coming into the reading with. So it's the energy of the past. And here, what I feel with this 7 of Cups is that you may have ignored in the past all the things that you need to face. Like there's all these issues that are here, all these emotional issues that you may have kind of buried or hidden underneath other things, bad behaviors, or using, you know, crutches, different kinds of crutches. That could be substances. It could also just be, it could be people. It could be situations. You know, like you could be hiding yourself behind many different kinds of masks, and however that is for you is for you to decide, obviously. But yeah, the 7 of Cups to me in this position here feels like there are things from your past that you have been avoiding and covering over with behaviors and habits. And I think that there's this awakening happening for you right now where you're realizing that in order for you to feel real, genuine joy and happiness, you need to uncover what it is that you are hiding and address behaviors that you've put in front of yourself or put in your routines that are actually just masking the emotions that are there that have not yet been dealt with, and start to be really honest and face these things and like really take stock of what, you know, what has happened to you in the past, and address the pain that you feel in order to kind of feel this sense of like joyful, unconditional love in life. Because this Ace of Cups here in this outcome position in the reverse feels really sad. You have 2 2s in the reading as well, both in reverse here. 2 of Swords in reverse and 2 of Cups in reverse. So again, for some of you, if this reading is about a relationship and it's seemingly like not really satisfying anymore, maybe it has been in the past, whether or not addiction is a part of this story and is a factor that's contributing or not, there is something here around like emotional dissatisfaction, dishonesty, or a sense of like how do I describe that? Just a lack of satiation, lack of satisfaction, lack of joy, lack of happiness there. And there's 2 of Swords in reverse here in the outcome position with this Ace of Wands in reverse. So you have two aces in reverse and 2 2s in reverse in this reading. So this is saying to me there's some fundamental things that you're at these 1s and 2s are at the beginning of a cycle, right? And seeing that these are both in reverse, it feels like to me that there are some fundamental issues that from your past that have to be addressed, which have until now been avoided, hidden, and masked behind other behaviors, or even if it's not an addiction, you might just have like a sort of a type of coping mechanism in your personality, even if it's just a type of behavior or a kind of way of carrying yourself and holding yourself, that is something which is, you know, inauthentic and needs to be addressed. There's something here that wants to be released. Like there's something that there's this energy of holding back and restraining real raw emotions from being expressed, because maybe they're too painful or too uncomfortable. But there's definitely like energy here in the emotional body that needs to be released, that wants to move. All these cup cards here in the foundation of the reading in reverse are saying that there's a lot of emotional pain that is in your body, that's stored within you, that needs to have a voice and be, in order for it to be released. And that's what I feel these two cards at the heart of the reading are saying. The Devil and the Strength card, both upright in the center of the reading, suggesting that there is some old issues, some darkness, some emotional pain that is causing you to have it's like there's a you're kind of just going through the motions in life. There's this feeling of like just going through the motions, and there's like there's like this film between you and life, and you're not really genuinely experiencing life because you've kind of shut down your emotions so that you can feel safe, and you've protected yourself from pain. But that pain has not gone away. It's still there, and it needs to be revealed and released so that you can heal it and move forward in order to have this kind of Ace of Cups in the upright position. So Five of Pentacles in the position of hopes and fears with the Knight of Wands in reverse. I feel like this is saying what I just described there, where it's like you may be afraid to shine light on places where you've packed away emotional pain, but it's saying here that like you want to avoid, you want to avoid discomfort, but actually revealing that pain is actually a freedom from it, because what you're doing now through your behavior and your habits and your actions, your attitudes, your relationships, is actually, you are totally embodying that pain in every moment, but you're just separating yourself from it. So going to those places where the pain is and feeling it in a way that lets it be released, it doesn't mean you have to re-experience the trauma or the pain or the sadness that's there. It's simply just giving yourself a chance to actually acknowledge that there was something that hurt, and let that emotion have a voice. Because when emotions don't get the chance to be expressed in the moment when there is a difficult situation, they simply just exist still in the body. They don't go away. So I think the Knight of Wands in reverse there with the Five of Pentacles is saying that there is a bit of an avoiding going on, that you don't want to kind of face any pain that you may have experienced in the past for different reasons. But I feel like it's my job to share with you that the message is that avoiding experiencing pain or avoiding looking at painful things from the past is not actually, it's not helping. It's not helping. The Seven of Cups is saying clearly that there are some emotional experiences from the past that have been unresolved and that need the chance to have a voice. It doesn't have to take a long time. It doesn't have to be like a drawn out painful time of like, therapy or any of that. I think simply going to the place where the pain is and like experiencing it, acknowledging it, and then releasing it. This, like some of you may need like support from a professional to help guide you through this process. Others, you may just simply want to work with the energy that you're feeling in your meditative spaces, and just like, the important thing is to actually acknowledge the energy and then help it to be released so that it actually leaves you. What else is here? This Page of Pentacles as the crowning card is interesting. I haven't really spoken on that yet. Page of Pentacles in the upright position. I feel that this is an indicator that on a soul level you are starting to come to realization that you're actually ready for this process. Like there's a willingness here to actually begin a physical journey and to start a process where you are committed to that journey of actually resolving and healing the physical body. Okay. I feel that that's basically it for the general reading. Let's have a look at the bottom of the deck. Six of Swords in reverse, Empress, Death, and the Eight of Swords in reverse. It's basically what I just said. So this Six of Swords in reverse is kind of saying to me like, yeah, there is a need here to go back to the past, to the source of where pain came from, like wherever these swords come from. It's like you're going back to the past to find those memories, to find those, I'm hearing institutions, to find those experiences, right? To actually just shine a light on them, acknowledge them. Because this is actually maybe what you're feeling, but you're trying to avoid this. It doesn't make it go away. And then the Empress is saying that, you know, like work with divine feminine energy, work with like the healing energy, work with love, work with compassion for yourself and for others too. If there has been some obviously indiscretions or some trauma, some type of abuse against you, this is about working with the energy of love and forgiveness and compassion. To restore your physical health. The Empress for me is representing like a physical wellness. And then Death here with the Eight of Swords is saying to me there is like a big energy that wants to move, like a transmutation of energy through the death, like a transformation that has the potential to occur here if you focus your energy on what's going on here and not avoid any longer. If you kind of commit to a process of healing. And in doing so, then you will work very much with your physical health, your physical energy, to restore your state of wellness to its natural place. And this Eight of Swords in reverse, I actually really like this card here in this final position of, it's like finally you are actually ready to reveal the truth, which is that you have the power and the capacity to heal the situation, to remove the bindings and remove the blindfold and witness. Like, I mean, see both of these cards here, both of these swords cards, you have these two characters both in reverse with the blindfold on. I feel that there is a time now where you are willing to actually start to look at things in an honest way and address issues from the past that are actually holding you back in life, things that you may have been avoiding addressing. But in doing so, in doing that avoidance technique, you've actually just taken on habits and behavior that is actually more just as toxic as those difficult experiences themselves. So you're masking one pain with another pain. So taking time here to actually like acknowledge and address that there are some issues to look at, and finding the strength and the courage to actually commit to that process and go back a little bit into the past, into the memory, to kind of find the source of where these swords are in order to restore your physical health and well-being, to find a restoration of love. You know, we need to get this Ace of Cups card in the upright position, the Ace of Wands as well. Right now there's this energy of like you're not actually really living. There's this feeling of like going through the motions, as I said, and there's like this border, there's an edge between you and real life because you're not really feeling emotions. You've kind of numbed yourself. That's what this avoidance thing is. It's like a numbing. So time to dig deep, remove the binds and shackles, start to address your physical health, and look at what it is that you need to address, that you've been avoiding, that you're hiding from, so that you can clear it, release it, resolve it, and move into a space where your wellness and your health is restored, and you create new habits that are beneficial and nurturing, and that where you put your health and well-being as a priority, your physical health, your emotional health. And in doing so, you kind of open yourself up to a greater capacity to give and receive love, which is always kind of the ultimate goal, right? Cancer, that's the general reading. I'm going to take the Voyager deck now and shuffle again, give you a higher octave reading using the Holographic Mandala spread again. So please, while I shuffle again, just comfortably relax your posture again. Bring your awareness to your breathing. Send your energy into the deck so I can get really clear messages that are for you. And the higher octave reading is designed to give us a little bit more insight into what's happening on a karmic and spiritual level, to help us gain some clarity and insight and receive guidance on how best to work with the energies that we have, how to move forward, how to be as graceful as possible, to get the most out of the opportunities that are available to us in the moment that we're in. Take that. Yeah, 10 of Worlds upright. Nice. 5 of Cups. Strength again as the crowning card this time. I like that. 10 of Cups here. You have it again. 7 of Cups. All these cups again. Ace of Worlds reverse. So now this is the third ace we're having in the reading in the reverse position. Tower. 8 of Wands. 10 of Crystals. 10 of Wands. Wow, 3 10s now. Six of Worlds reversed. Child of Crystals. Time Space, which is Judgment from the Rider-Waite deck. And the Emperor. Interesting. Alright. Where shall I begin? I mean, there's 3 tens here. Can you see this? 1, 2, 3. It's creating this triangle here, this inverted triangle here at the top of the reading. It's very powerful. It's a very powerful feeling. I think that it's definitely touching on the same point of like this feeling, like a moment to really like, and having the Tower card here with the Emperor. Oh, I just saw this. You have the 10 of Cups here as well. So all 4 of the 10s are here in your reading, Cancer. This is big. This is like, you know, given that this is the higher octave reading, and we're speaking more in terms of karma and spiritual energy that you're receiving from the universe. This says very clearly to me that you are you're getting this impulse and impressions from the universe. Like energy is kind of surging into you right now. Just give me a second. It's crazy, the shape of it. The shape, like this, there's 2 tens here and then 2 tens here. It's like a very stabilizing force, actually. The energy is very stabilizing. But at the same time, it's a complete, like, the destruction of your, like, entire structure of your life in a way. This is definitely an awakening moment. This is definitely an awakening moment. So all these tens here are describing a culmination or a total completion or close out of all the cycles in your life. Again, whether or not this is about your relationship is not the point. This is more about you as an individual, as a spiritual entity in a human form on earth right now. This is saying to me very clearly that you're on a soul level. Your spirit is saying that this is totally the end of a cycle now, and there are things that you cannot bring forward with you in the next cycle. Right? You have, as I said in the previous reading, there was those 2 aces there in reverse, Ace of Wands and Ace of Cups. Okay? Now you have another ace here in the reading, also in reverse, in the same position here. So, and that says to me that you are on the precipice of a new beginning. But seeing all these tens here, and I'll add that they're all in the upright position. There is work to do. There is work to do here. There is work to do. And I feel like it, you know, like it's coming out in a kind of dramatic way here in this reading. And I don't mean to overly dramatize things, but I've just never seen that before. Like 4 tens in a reading, and the shape they're making, like this. It doesn't have to be dramatic at all. It's just, I think simply you're ready. You are ready to move forward. You are ready to have a revelation. Interestingly, here in this reading, okay, in this deck, the Judgment card is called Time Space. And I don't know if you can see that, but this is number 20. It's number 20 from the Major Arcana. And the numeric depiction here of 20 is 2 X's. So it's another 2 tens really. So this really is the completion of a cycle. There is certain things that you are, certain ideas or habits or behaviors or addictions or people or whatever that you cannot bring forward with you into the next part of your life. Now, these 4 cards here at the bottom of the reading, as I said, Judgment, you have the 8 of Wands there, Tower and Emperor, all in the upright. Actually very harmonious energy here, even though they're all heavy hitters and there's really powerful energy in these cards. And it does have a very distinct energy of like shifting, like there's a paradigm shift going on here. But look, Tower, which is the card of like dissolving structures and really like shaking things up in a way that your past is completely dissolved and released in a way. And then you've got the Emperor teamed with it, which is number 4, which is all about structure and formation and foundations and stability. So interesting dichotomy there, but at the same time it's like it makes total sense with all these other, what I'm feeling here is that there is this two extreme opposites that are existing at the same time. One is a complete disillusion and total shattering of everything that you know to be familiar and stable in your life. Yet at the same time, there's this feeling of safety and security and comfort and like being held. There's a feeling of being held. And I don't know if it's like the universe just offering you kind of like a kind of spiritual energy of like, you know, me needing to tell you like everything's going to be okay, even though like maybe your world is coming apart in some regard. There's this feeling of structure and stability and formation and foundation there. This as well, like this 8 of Wands, 8 is 2 fours, right? So 8 of Wands here is saying that the situation that is changing is coming into a state of greater harmony and greater, there's more, I feel like there's beauty coming to you. It's like somehow whatever the stuff that you're, look, I just saw that, look, 7 of Cups, 7 of Cups, same card, same position. It's really strong reading here, Cancer. You know, I'm not an overly dramatic person, so I'm very blown away by the energy of this spread and the cards and the layout. And as I said, I've tried 3 times before to do your reading, and here we are with this spread. Amazing. Again, I feel that this is saying clearly that there are things from your past that you have hidden or avoided, which you may come to understand now are things that need to be addressed in order for them to be released. Your challenge is to work with the discomfort of emotional energy that may feel disruptive or chaotic or painful, let's just say. I mean, that's basically what it is. It's like remembering pain. But as I said earlier, I don't feel like emotional release needs to be traumatic. I think you can go back to places where there have been experiences that were painful, where emotions were not expressed, and just acknowledge those moments, and that is in itself can be a release. I really don't feel like you have to relive pain and trauma. I don't think you need to go through any kind of like weird new agey kind of rebirthing things, or any kind of like, you know, just acknowledging energy, and in some way, in your own way, you could create some kind of ritual around that, whether there's some kind of like, you know, writing or painting or drawing or dancing, or use fire or crystals or meditation or whatever. Like find your own way to kind of symbolically and energetically acknowledge those energies, and then give them a release, to like give them a voice, to give them like a vehicle to return to a place that where they really belong, and not be stuck inside of you. More or less covered all the cards here. I haven't spoken on strength, but as I said, strength was in the previous reading and I spoke on it already. I feel like its presence here in this spread as the crowning card here is very beautiful. It's lending a very lovely energy of support and of encouragement to you at this time. I feel like the strength card, I always say with the strength card, I feel like there's a very powerful connection for me to Durga from the Hindu pantheon, because she rides a tiger, sometimes a lion. So for me, there's a connection to her, and I feel like the essence of the strength card, or the energy signature that Durga lends to this card, is one of wrathful compassion. So for me, it's about like, you know, when you have those ugly moments and there's like an energy of you know, the ugly discomfort that comes with certain revelations, there is a reminder here to understand that there is compassion coming towards you, and that these things may not be comfortable, but there is beauty there, there is love and support there, and you have the strength, and you have the faculties, you have the tools to work with what it is that you're dealing with here, and you have support from the celestial entities, from your guides, from your higher self, from your unconscious mind as well, to resolve and release a lot of these things, to kind of move out of them into a fresh space where you are just free from the binding of these unexpressed emotions that are stored in you. I love this reading. I love these 4 10s here. So cool. And this Tower card here with the Emperor, it's really beautiful. There is definitely an awakening going on here, where you are being urged to allow your you know, whatever structures you've created, whatever like the previous reading from the with the devil card there at the heart of the reading was definitely kind of indicating like I'm hearing deviant behavior, but it's not necessarily true for everyone. I feel like there was some indication there around addiction, but it could be not even necessarily substance addiction, but just like certain ways that your personality has learned to interact with life in a way that is not necessarily authentic, but it's a defense mechanism. It's a way that you've learned to be safe in the world, and that's what some of this is like addressing the ways where you have allowed your personality or your genuine nature to be smothered or stifled or hidden or masked, because it wasn't necessarily safe for you to be your true self, or there was some incident or maybe multiple incidences where you were unable to express yourself, or you had to in some way adapt to a situation in order to be safe to it. And those are the things I'm talking about here. These are the kinds of energies that have been embodied for so long that they've kind of become, you kind of claimed them, but deep down you know that's not actually real. It's not really you. It's not really your genuine true nature. And these are the things we're talking about when it comes to like dissolving and shattering structures. It's like actions and behaviors and ideas and thoughts and, you know, ways that we interact with life that are actually adaptations, and they're not really your true nature. So let's use this power of the tens here. There's this powerful configuration of tens here that is giving you a push to kind of complete and close out a cycle and like really walk away from things that are not really you, things that you have kind of adapted as your own, that were simply as a need for survival. And understand that you're moving into a time here now where your ultimate real true nature is having the chance, or is needing to have a voice to be its genuine self. Let your light shine. Let your light shine. Work with all the feelings that you're having right now, and strive to just get to the truth, get to the core of the matter, and really just be willing to let things go. Let go of people, of behaviors, activities, habits, even catchphrases. There's certain things that I feel like some of you are saying certain things, like there's some kind of catchphrases that you use over and over again that you need to stop using, because in a way these things are actually like affirmations that are, I don't like to use that word actually, let me try to find another word. They're spells. There's catchphrases that you are using that are actually spells, and you're not aware. You're not aware that you're casting a spell every time you say this catchphrase. And it's something off the cuff that may not even feel like it's important to you, but it actually is. Every word that comes out of your mouth is a spell. And things that you say repeatedly are especially potent and need to be addressed if they're not things that are not actually completely truthful and authentic to you. So just shine a light on that. Just bring awareness to that. If there's something there for you, like pay attention to that and start to just become more aware of everything that you say and think. Okay, we're just going to close up this reading now with the last cards from the bottom of the deck for the extension. 5 of Worlds upright, 2 of Crystals in reverse, Actor, Man of Wands, and the Empress reverse. So you have again there's a few repeating cards from the first spread. You had that 2 of Swords in the outcome position from the previous reading, and here it is again in the 2 of Crystals, again in reverse. And you also had in the extended cards the Empress, and there it is again. I'm going to put these away. Okay, Empress. Empress was upright. Here she is in reverse in this reading. So what I feel this is again a little bit of an iteration of what we've already been talking about, which is that there is some pain, disappointment, loss, deception, trauma from the past, which you may have been avoiding until now. And this is a time where I think you have begun to awaken to the idea that there is something in the past that you need to resolve and face and have an honest look at in order to release any emotion that's still attached to that, in order for you to kind of move into the next part of your life free from the baggage of those things and free from the masks and the pretending. There's like this card is called Actor in this deck, the Man of Wands. And what really stands out to me about this card and why I think it's relevant here is that, as I was describing earlier, there are behaviors, patterns, catchphrases, activities, habits, addictions perhaps, that are activities that you have used to mask pain and emotion, or things that you have used as a way of adapting to and coping with difficult situations in order for you to survive and manage and feel like you're capable of handling the world. But there's things that you may have claimed or taken on as your, and things you've become attached to that have now completed their time with you. That's what all these tens are. There's a completion there. There's a closing out of a cycle. There's a culmination. There's an ending. And time to take off those masks, put away those behaviors, address those habits, deal with any addictions. Even if you're addicted to, like I said, catchphrases or using certain type of language, it's not serving you anymore. Your time of surviving has passed. This is a time now to thrive and grow and flourish. And that's what the Empress is saying. This is a time for you to really embody to the fullest your authentic nature, your genuine nature, and to really put a focus on your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being so that you can be fully present here and really thrive in life in your greatest potential. And overcome any limitations or restrictions from the past by simply shining a light on them, by addressing that they're there, and stop avoiding your feelings. Stop avoiding your feelings. But also don't get stuck in them too. I know that Cancers tend to be emotional, overly emotional. This is about just being pragmatic about things, I think. It's practical. It's a practical solution here. There's a practical solution. I feel that that's your reading. Let me just check if there's anything else here. No, I'm going to leave it there. This is about you coming into your really, like, fully embodying your passionate self. Because anything that you've been using to hide yourself behind is actually, that's what I was describing earlier with there being kind of a boundary or a film or a border between you and life. It's like you can't fully embody and express your passions and your real raw emotion because you are avoiding certain things and masking pain and discomfort with habits and activities and people even, and behavior and words, and in some cases addiction. So time to start to address these things. Please let me know in the comments how this reading was for you, Cancer. I'm very curious to know if anyone was reached with these messages. I appreciate your time. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate your subscription also. It's so great to have you here. It's an honor and a pleasure to read for you. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to seeing you in next month's readings.